Should I stay or should I go? Now, I was in the limbo for years. Looking back, it's hard for me to comprehend why did I even stay in this relationship for over 10 years. But that was my rite of passage. That was the steps and that was the growth that I needed to go through to become who I am. And those of you who know me, I am in a happy, fulfilling relationships now, but it didn't happen that way right away. Hello everybody, my name is Olga. I am a relationships coach and a fast EFT and EFT practitioner. And today we're talking about steps of making good relationships decisions. Yesterday I was tapping with a client who said, Olga, I know this man is not right for me. I'm actually was thinking about breaking up with him almost every time we get together, but I can't make myself do it. So if you're in a similar place where you're trying to make a good decision on how to move forward, if you're trying to understand whether or not your relationship has run its course, or if you know that it has run its course, but you have a really hard time to live it, you're going to love this video. So let's get started. And the reason why I made this video is because I feel your pain. I've been there and I've been there for years. And I remember working with my practitioner and she looked at me and I can tell in her look that she knew what the right step was. But until you're ready, you're not ready, you know what I mean? And so I respect the path that you're going through because I've definitely been there. So let's talk about it. So the 4 steps that I wanted to take you through today is something that I really help you understand. Now, this step, time-wise, it really depends where you are, and it could be that something that'll take you days, maybe weeks, maybe even months. Now, my deepest desire is to help you figure things out and to move on with your life and to be happy. I like to say it's our time to grow up and be happy, often because I truly believe that. So the first thing that you wanted to look into and you wanted to do, and this might sound counterintuitive and counterproductive, but it's an absolute first step in any relationships that I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to find peace with. And I know you guys heard it before, and I don't want to sound repetitive, but it's an absolute first step, and it's an absolute first thing that you want to do if you want to make a good decision. If you don't want to stop repeating similar pattern, or you don't want to get in the same kind of relationship in a different pair of shoes again. Ready? There we go. So the first step is forgiveness. So get to the place where you are 100% at peace or mostly at peace with that person. And then you say, well, Olga, that doesn't make any sense. If I'm at peace with that person, why would I leave? Well, here's the truth. Just because you're at peace doesn't mean that the other party is at peace. Or it also doesn't mean that you have to stay and you have to continue something that is not working for you. For example, I remember getting to the place where I was able to sit down and peacefully talk to my ex-husband and say, listen, thank you so much for all the years together. And we had good times, we had bad times, and I'm here to tell you that I have forgiven you for any hurts or quote unquote bad times. And I wanted to thank you for the good life, the good things that we did have together. But I was thinking about this a lot, and I have made a decision that at this point, this relationship has run its course for me. There's nothing here to save. I know I've done my due diligence to save this family, and I've decided to file for divorce. I have decided to move on. And I was able to say all of those things without saying, you're a jerk, and you don't have a job, and I cannot talk to you about anything, and you don't understand me, and I've been with so much heartache and pain. I didn't say any of those things because I knew it wouldn't be counterproductive, and I knew if I want to talk about that I probably did not heal myself. Now, if you are in a relationship with a partner that you can talk about these things and he can give you space to process, the chances are you can work things out. You don't even need to leave, right? So that's not what I'm talking about. But one way or the other, you need to get to the place where you can be centered and at peace and aligned with where you are and who you are to have this difficult conversation. Now, if they trigger you back, if I say something that provoke you, like, oh, that's all your fault, and you didn't do this, and you didn't do that, and we didn't try, then notice this. It's all an opportunity to heal. If you get triggered and worked out because of that, tap, go deal with your things. It's not him, it's you. If you're getting triggered, it's you, right? And it's hard to make good decision when your heart is in turbulence. When you're in a place where things feel messy, it's hard to make a good decision. So the second thing that you want to do is you want to clear the reference. So often we get in relationship with people who remind us of someone from the past. And I truly believe the reason why we do this is because we want to heal that relationships. You might have heard me repeatedly say that it's not until I've forgiven my father that I was able to part at peace with my ex-husband and find a person that I'm aligned with and be in a happy relationship and happy marriage, which I am in right now. So forgiving the people from your life, and very often that is somebody from the childhood. I work with a client who was working with forgiving her brother. I work with a client who just was able to forgive her sister, and it's always somebody very close, and it's usually big. Now, notice how similar those relationships often are with what you have going on right now. Why is it happening? Well, because your soul wants to forgive. You want this closure. You want this feeling that you have resolved it. Now, there's also an element of being in a familiar setting, right? Of repeating familiar relationships or this is what home feels like. It's, we argue all the time and there's conflict and we fight and nobody's agreeing on anything and we disrespect each other. There's that, of course. But it's not until you make peace with that within you and you forgive those people completely that you can actually let go. Now, one of the best ways to clear the reference is work through the memories. A lot of spiritual teachers talk about it. Robert Smith talk about it. Denise Duffel-Thomas talk about it. Clearing the memories, going to the memories and healing it through a fast EFT process or other processes is the best way. Now today, actually, I had a session with a client. She said, Olga, I worked on all the memories. What do I do? So we tapped on the general feeling. And in the end, she felt very light. And she was like, I cannot believe that I feel actually happy thinking about that person. And so sometime what you want to do is you want to get a good practitioner. And this is something that I recommend. If EFT or fast EFT practitioner, somebody who's certified, who has experience with relationships. It's very often in the presence with someone who went through what you're going through and can tell you, listen, it's totally possible. I've done it. I helped a lot of people to do it. And you can do it too. It's normal. It's okay. And this kind of energy is what will help you get there, right? Because you start to surround yourself with people for whom this is normal. You become one of these people. And so, I specialize with relationships. So if you need help with this one, I'll be happy to help. Third thing that I want to talk to you about is what you give out comes back to you 100 times multiplied. I know you heard this before. It's the very basic law of attraction. And the truth is, it's like a basic knowledge for most of us who've been through this journey, right? The law of attraction journey, but it's still something that we need to be reminded of. So when I worked with a client and she said, yeah, I feel better. But, part of me kind of almost glad that something bad happened with that person because they were very, very horrible to me. I was like, great, this is your next level of work. This is your next step. Can you picture that person happy, And so many times women come to me and say, Olga, I've been through divorce, but I'm over this guy and it's all in the past. I've forgiven and I just want to let go, but I can't start dating. And when I do, it's like a dead end all the time. What is going on? What am I doing wrong? I thought I've done my work. So I'll ask them, well, can you picture your ex-husband or your ex happy? She was like, no, he's a jerk. I hope he burns in hell. And I was like, okay, all right. There is no other person in your head. Whatever you give others, come back to you 100 times multiplied. And I know that this is a lot to ask, to picture and to wish well and to self-love and joy to your perpetrator. But here's the thing, you're doing it for you, right? You're doing it for yourself. And that is the next level. Now, if you feel like the justice has been served, right? Or like they got what they deserved, it's also an opportunity to heal, right? It's an opportunity to do a little bit more of a tapping work and healing work and forgiveness work. So the last thing that I want to talk to you about, guys, is step number 4 is tap. Tapping is a very simple tool that you can use for all the things that we talked about today. If you're not familiar with tapping, it's just a simple acupressure technique that's good for limiting beliefs that help you really change the way you feel. And by that I mean not distracting you like we do with Netflix or wine or ice cream or some other things, right? When we talk about stuff, sometimes we just distracting ourselves versus really dealing with it and changing how I feel. So the tapping is actually help you change the way you feel, right? So all the things that we talked about in this video, they can be accomplished through this very simple tool. Again, I always would say it's good to consult with a certified EFT or fast EFT practitioner and get help, because when you are in a picture, it's hard to see the picture from outside, right? So teachers need teachers, mentors need mentors, and so I see my practitioner once in a while. I'm going to actually have a session with her today. But in the beginning, we met and we, tapped maybe weekly or bi-weekly. Right now, I see her maybe a couple of times a year, right? Because I've gotten to the point where I am genuinely happy most of the time. 80 to 90% of the time, I'm very happy in my relationships and in my work. And it's hard for me to even remember that feeling when I felt stuck and I cried in the shower and it just felt so very, very heavy. So let's do a quick round of tapping together so you have a general idea what it looks like and just to experience the shift. And again, do reach out to someone who can help you with this if you're ready to go deeper. And once again, I'll be happy to help you as well. So let's get started. What I want you to do is I want you to think about that person, right? So if you're going through this breakup process in one way or another, and here's the truth, it could be not even personal, right? It could be something at work or a friend or some kind of relationship where you're wondering, has it run its course? Is it time for me to part ways, or is there still an opportunity for me to be with that person in one way, shape, or form? And so kind of close your eyes and take a deep breath. Go ahead and breathe in. And I want you to bring in the image or the feeling or maybe a sound that associates with this person. And as you do, let's go ahead and tap together. Say this feeling, this person, all the way I feel about him or her. It's my time to let it go. Today is the day to address this, to feel this, and to let it go. I'm not sure what the journey is like ahead of me, but I am sure that I want to make peace with that. I want to resolve it. I want to forgive. So today, with love, compassion, and understanding, I now forgive, I now forgive, I now forgive. And I bring all power back into my body. I am now worthy and deserving of receiving love and abundance. Fantastic. So this is a super quick way of tapping and just kind of cleaning the energy. And if you're not familiar with this tapping mantra, this is something that I absolutely love. I recommend it to my clients all the time. So pause this video and write this down. So it's very, very simple. So it goes like this. With love, compassion, and understanding, I now forgive, I now forgive, I now forgive. And I bring all power back into my body. I'm now worthy and deserving of receiving love and abundance. And anytime you are making a big decision in your life, trying to figure things out, I want you to go ahead and tap on it. And here's the truth, guys. So sometime you'll notice that you will do the work, right? And you will feel much better and you'll have a huge shift, in that direction. And then some triggers come up, right? Because triggers come up all the time. Maybe it's the song that you guys were listening together. Maybe it's a place that you guys went together. Maybe it's a person that you used to hang out with. And sometimes it triggers things. So this is where you use tapping. Tapping is that awesome and it's that simple. Now, when I started learning it was about 7 years ago. It's pretty new, But right now, it's kind of like a mainstream. A lot of people talk about it. You know, I'm yet to see people walking on the streets and tapping like that, but I'm sure that this is next, right? I know I'll be one of those people, or tapping in the coffee shops, or in restaurants, or in hospitals, in prisons, in schools. So I see this tool becoming more mainstream, okay? Alrighty guys, so keep on tapping. Any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I can't wait to help you tap into your best relationships. Bye.